Let's go.
Part
Okay.
3. Let's do it.
So let's what happened in the last one? We ended off with, we got the house, we got on the sign up, and we were ready to move forward, but we were still feeling very nervous because at the time we could not completely afford it comfortably.
Yes. So in part 1, we talked about how were
go watch that
how we came across the neighborhood that we wanted 2 years ago.
Yep.
And we were driving around every single day in this neighborhood, eating lunch there, walking around, praying over it, all of that. Fast forward, we end up having an opportunity where the opportunity opened up for us to go under contract on it. We went under contract, and now we are here. That was part 2. Now we're here in part 3, where we're talking about post going under contract.
Okay, so now talk about the week leading up going under contract. That was it was not, I mean, it was like a happy time, but it was like a lot mentally.
How were you feeling? Because I'll share how I was feeling.
Yeah,
how were you feeling?
I think leading up to it, I was very, very excited. And I knew in my heart, like, yes, this is it. God made a way and opened up a door. But I have this really big fear of making wrong decisions, aka perfectionism. And so my perfectionism part of me was really, really strong. And I was like feeling very afraid, and really leaning into the Lord and just asking for clarity and counsel and thinking of the ways in the past that He showed up and brought me clarity, even when I wasn't feeling completely sold on something. But I was feeling very torn, if that makes sense. And just wrestling and just letting go of the perfectionist part of me.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I would say I felt a similar way, for sure. I think we both were in the same boat. The feelings of like doubt started to really creep in, because you got to understand, this is both of our, it was our first time purchasing a home just in general.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking it would be this soon that we would be purchasing a home.
Yeah.
1. 2, also being the first in my family, to purchase a home. I don't know anything besides helping other people out. I've never purchased a home before.
Yeah.
And then I'm newly married. So all the decisions that I want to make the right decisions, especially as the husband and as the leader in our household. I wanted to make sure we was making the right decision. I was talking to some of my closest people, but I'll never forget talking to Jasmine's dad, who is obviously...
We love your dad. And
we
Mom.
love you. And obviously, he is my father-in-law, but also a mentor.
He's very wise.
Very wise, so much wisdom. So I call him, I remember it was yesterday. I'm on the phone with him and I'm like, listen, I don't know, what if it don't work out? What if financially, I don't know if it's the right decision. And he was saying so many different things, and he's yo, he's hitting me with blows, yo, you need to make sure you da-da-da-da, boom, 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 think about this, think about that. But there was one thing, there was so many different nuggets in there of wisdom, but there was one thing that really stuck with me, and it was him saying, son, you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Honestly, whatever decision you make, God got you.
Yeah.
If you have been faithful, if you already went to God and you asked for wisdom in making this decision, He's with you in making that decision. And so I know a lot of times, especially younger people, we want to make the right decision. And sometimes we get into analysis paralysis, and we actually hold ourselves back from blessings because we just want to make the perfect right decision. And I think what we don't understand is as long as we involve God in our decision making, sometimes God won't tell you the exact answer or tell you exactly what you need to do. Sometimes it's just a leap of faith in knowing that whatever decision I make, He's still going to be with me. He'll still correct me if it's not the right decision. He'll still walk with me through that process, and he'll still keep us covered. He still got us protected.
Yeah.
And so walking away from that conversation, I was hey, no doubt in my mind, let's do it. We don't have all the details yet. We don't know exactly how we're going to do it because we weren't financially there where we wanted to be. We just weren't. Like, we can afford to pay for the house, but not where we wanted it to be. Like,
yeah, where we could save
Yes.
and have extra money to go out to dinner and all
Yes.
that. It was tight.
but when I tell y'all, like, door after door, like, so we ended up going under contract.
Yeah, we were like, woohoo! But it was joy, but I was still very nervous. I was like,
Yeah. It's like, all right, here we go. We under contract. It's official.
and we got 8 months to get this thing rolling along, whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, not saying that it was all up to us. Obviously, like, God is the one who orchestrates everything. But how are we going to position ourselves to where we are in the best place financially
Mm-hmm.
to be able to, like, get this party started? Okay, so in the midst of all this, just a side note, I was working a part-time job. That'll come in a second, but just keep that in the back of your brain. So we went under contract. It was like, woohoo, awesome.
Not working it because she needed to, but she was already doing it.
Right, okay, wait.
Working for her aunt.
Yeah, side note. We were doing that to pay off debt. We had already paid off debt, but I just love kitties. So that's where I was working. And I was like, I just love it. I'm going to stay here. But anyway, I didn't need to stay there because we had a lot going on. But anyways. Okay, so tell the story. Maybe, is it like 2 months later? No, I think it was like a month later. A huge store opened.
No, it was the same. It was like a week later. It was like a week
Shut the front
after because we went under contract.
Yeah.
What was it, February like 13th or something?
Yeah, it was near your birthday.
So my birthday was February 22nd, so a few days later.
Yeah.
Literally the next day after my birthday,
Yeah.
an opportunity opened up at the company that I'm at to basically move up. And that was just like, oh shoot, that was random. Like, and mind you, I was only at this company for 6 months, I think by that time. 6 months, 8 months, something like that. It was unexpected. Day after my birthday, right after we went under contract, that happened.
And he got, okay, let's be specific here. He got a pay raise with the promotion. So
Yes.
that was like, okay, we're like, okay,
Yeah,
God.
we'll take it. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
now at this point, the promotion was great, but it's still, I mean, it gave us a little bump, but we were like, we need a little more
Yeah. And we, again, like, we were doing pretty good. Like, we still were, but
Right.
where we wanted to be
Right.
as far as, like, just feeling comfortable enough to, like, still be able
Essentially, we wanted
stack
to
up on
move into the house, and it be us living below our means. We're
Yes,
really big on
yes,
that.
yes.
Having no debt, living below our means, so that we could save as much as possible and live the life that God has called us to.
Yes.
Called us to.
Yes.
So he got that promotion. You're like, okay, woo,
Yeah,
thank
I'll
you,
take it.
Jesus,
Yep.
awesome. At this point, we were wrestling with, like feeling like I needed to leave my part-time job, and we didn't know why, because we were like, Lord, this is not like great timing considering we just went under contract on a home. Like, we need all the money that we can get. Okay. Also, keep in mind, there are things along the way, like, even though you go under contract on a home, there's things you have to pay for, like inspections and all these different things. So we just needed as much money as we could get to save up, to pay for these things, whatever. But we were both feeling a stirring in our hearts that I needed to leave my part-time job, and so we're dealing with that too. Then, what happened next?
I think my company came to me again, like, yo, like, we want to give you another bump.
Promotion round 2 in less than a 2-month span.
And at the same time,
What?
like, so right before that, it just didn't make sense for Jasmine to continue to work the part-time job that she had, really. And we just felt like, we just felt led for her to move on from there, pretty much. So after we were talking about that, this opportunity opened up. It's like, yo, this is getting out of pocket.
I know.
What is going on? But it was just such a blessing. It was really a blessing.
And God's provision.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so I think that made us feel even better about you walking away.
But I still wasn't like, okay, like, I'm ready to leave now. Like, it was very bittersweet for me. One, because I love the job. If you didn't know, I love kids. I've been a preschool teacher since I was 14, I wasn't teaching the preschoolers. I was like an assistant teacher, so don't get it twisted. I wasn't teaching kids at 14, but I've been involved in a preschool since I was 14. And so it was very bittersweet because I loved my job. I didn't want to leave, but it was an act of obedience to leave. And so I left and I was like, okay. So that was like, we had to kind of adjust to the extra money being gone, which we did, and we adjusted. And a month later, this has nothing to do with the house, but it's just wild. A month later, I started to use the extra time that I had being away from my part-time job to do social media, because that's what I felt like God led me to do this year. And then one of my videos went viral, and then I grew my following on social media. And so basically, I say all that to say, it's crazy how obedience and God's provision, it doesn't just like, it's not siloed to one area of your life. Like when you are walking in obedience, when you choose to steward your finances and everything else in your life well, it trickles over into every area of your life. So that was happening in the midst.
And God knew like the whole time.
And God knew the whole time.
He
And
knew
we
the
were
whole
like,
time. And meanwhile, on my end, I'm like locked in, like, all right, like, let's go. You know, I'm locked in, head down, you know, just trying to like knowing that, yo, like there's expenses that's going to come with doing this closing and this new house. Like, just want to make sure that we're in a position where we are comfortable. And so, but I was so grateful because that freed up more space for Jasmine to do more what she's passionate about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, like, God, like, you know the plan, like, we're good.
Yeah, we really were. And then fast forward, like we closed on our home on October, let me get this right,
18th.
October 18th, and we moved in October 19th. And we've been here for like, I think it's been like a month and a week almost.
Yes.
And it has been like one of the greatest joys of our life. Definitely has not been easy. It's interesting how when you step into a blessing, the enemy tries to, especially spiritual warfare, like attack you even harder. But we're thankful for God's strength, even through all of that. And we have been like loving our house. Like we're obsessed. We wake up every morning, we're like, is this
even real?
Is this real life?
Yeah, like you said, having dreams about, like, it's mind blowing. And it's, again, like, it's everything that we pretty much wanted.
Yeah.
In the area that we wanted.
Down to a T.
Like, in a location that's prime, like where we wanted to be, exactly how we wanted, and we didn't.
I have my fireplace and the
she got her fireplace,
porch.
Screen and porch,
it's
backyard, like
beautiful. It's plenty of space for us.
But like it again, like Jasmine said, it wasn't easy. You know, like it wasn't always easy, but the whole time, like God was just protecting us the whole time, and He knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, before we even knew exactly how it was going to all come together.
Yeah.
But I do want to make clear, like, you know, whatever it is that you're going after, or the ones who may feel like, yo, like, I don't feel like I can buy a house right now, or maybe I got to wait 5 years, or maybe I got to settle here, or maybe I need to start out with this house that doesn't have that, and that.
Yeah.
Like, just want to remind you, like, whatever it is, write that down.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that's on your heart, go to God about it, pray about it, tell Him, and then prepare. And we'll drop a video.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important. We'll drop a video of ways that you can prepare.
Yes.
Financially, like budgeting, financially, ways you can make extra money.
Yeah.
Credit, building your credit, and then even the home buying process just in general, which I can break down a little bit. So, but we're here.
We're here and we love it. We're homeowners. And what's so crazy is like, this is our first month of paying our mortgage and we're like, oh my gosh, we have a mortgage. We have a mortgage. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. It's wild. And we just feel so blessed and thankful that God would bless us with this house. Honestly, just to be a blessing to others. Like, that's what it's for.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be here 2 years. No more
That's
than
what
that.
he's been saying, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even wrap my brain around that.
We'll find something.
He's such a visionary.
Probably twice as big.
But I'm like, no, not my house. I love it. We're gonna stay here for
We'll
like
enjoy
10
this.
years.
We'll
I mean,
enjoy
maybe
this
not
while
10
we're
years,
here.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll enjoy this while we're
But
here.
Reggie's like, okay, what's the next goal? And I'm like, can I just like sit by my fireplace for a second? I'm like, but anyways, guys, thank you guys for just supporting us through our entire journey. You know who you are. Thank you to everyone who has poured into
Family,
us, who has prayed for
friends,
us,
parents,
and who has just
both
been
sides,
there.
yeah.
Honestly, we're just really, really grateful and excited to see how the Lord continues to use us in this house. But make sure you stay tuned because there will be some more videos specifically on the tactical, practical things of home buying and all that stuff because
we want to hear y'all. Like,
yeah, we want to be a
doing the same
resource to
stuff.
you. I mean,
Absolutely.
Reggie's probably more of a resource than I am, but I know like a little bit because I have bought a house. Okay, you know, like I am a homeowner. Okay, you know. But anyways, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you so much, and we will see you in the next video.
All right, y'all.
Bye,
Take care.
guys.